Hi, this is Pete, or Kenshin1913, along with
Mom.
And this is another Cooking with Kenshin1913. What are we going to be making today?
Today I'm making a dish called zucchini stew. I don't know if there's another name for it, but that's what I grew up knowing it as.
100% vegetarian.
Okay, this is called a zucchini stew. I don't know if that's the real name, but that's what my grandmother used to call it. It's just basically zucchini and peppers and some onion and garlic and a little tomato sauce. But when all those flavors come together, it's very delicious. And this time of the year, the end of the summertime into the fall, sometimes there seems to be plentiful amounts of zucchini, and people are always wondering what to do with them to make different dishes. So we have our zucchini, potato, onion, garlic, a little bit of tomato sauce, salt and pepper, and olive oil. And what we're going to do is to cut our zucchini into little chunks about that size. And we're also going to do the same thing with the potato. I'm going to use, this is 2 zucchinis. I'm going to use 1 more, and then 2 potatoes, medium-sized potatoes. These are newer potatoes, so the skin is very thin on them. So I'm not going to peel these. I washed them, and I'm going to cut them with the skin on. When it's in the wintertime and you got the potatoes that have a little bit thicker skin, if you want to peel the potatoes, you can. Usually, as long as the zucchini has also a thinner skin on it, I would not peel that. I would leave the skin on.
All right, so let's get started.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to, in a saucepan, or you can use a bigger size pan. Of course, this is for, you know, how much you're making. This dish probably would be a nice couple of bowls full for lunch. Some people use it as a side dish. I can just make a meal out of it. So we're going to cut up our garlic, and you want it on the small side, in little pieces. And I don't know if you could see that. I keep going. I have about 3 medium-sized garlic heads.
So yeah, you're just gonna chop. So who taught you this recipe? Your grandmother?
Yeah. Again, they were people that used their imagination with lots of different vegetables. And use them in all different ways. So you can see how I've cut the garlic in here. It's tiny. And I have, this is relatively a small onion, and I'm also going to cut this in little bits. So I'm just showing you, because then I'm gonna cut the other 2 garlics as well. So I'm cutting my onion in small pieces as well. Can you see that? Because you want the garlic and the onion to kind of cook at the same time frame, so that neither one of them are going to burn.
Yeah, everything's cooking evenly.
So I'm going to come back in a minute after I cut all these up, and I'll show you how to put the rest of the stuff in.
Alright, as you can see, my mom's cut up the onion and the garlic, and now she's just going to saute it a little. Now let me ask you a question. If you want to get this thin and your knife skills aren't that good, could you use the food blender, or what do you call it, food processor thing?
I guess you could.
Because they probably get it around the same size, I guess. So now, my mom.
Also, you don't want to get zucchinis that are too big, because you don't want the ones that have the big seeds in it. If you do get the zucchinis and you want to use the ones with the big seeds, you're going to want to scoop those big seeds out, because you want more of the flesh. So these zucchinis are just the right size. They have very tiny seeds, so you can use everything and you don't have to cut anything out. So what I do is I just cut it in half, and then in half again. So you've got like a triangle, and then just cut it in chunks.
And you said you used 2 to 3 of them?
Yep, 2 to 3 of them, depending on how big they are. And I do the same thing for the potato. I'm gonna cut that in little triangles as well.
Yeah, I guess the smaller you can get them,
the quicker
they'll cook.
You don't want them too small, because the potatoes the potatoes will keep their shape and not shrink very much, but the zucchini will wilt down a little. Okay.
Again, you don't want to burn the garlic, so.
This here smells, onion and garlic together just smell absolutely delicious. So as you can see, the onion is kind of translucent, and that's where you want it. Nothing has to be brown. So what we're going to do is just add this to our pot, whatever we have cut so far.
So you said your grandmother used to make this recipe for you?
And my mother.
And you said you enjoyed it during the fall?
Really, anytime we had it in the summertime when there was lots of zucchini around.
Alright, so what my mom's going to do is she's going to end up finishing cutting everything, and then we'll be right back and continue with the recipe.
Okay, we're added the rest of it in. I'm turning my heat back on. Just going to mix this all around. So it's about even. As you can see, the potatoes, maybe a little bit more zucchini, but that's fine. Gonna add our tomato sauce. Now I'll probably add 1 can of water to this, because you want this to simmer and cook down a little bit. So we'll add some salt and pepper. That zucchini tried to run away. You could also add hot pepper flakes if you like it a little more on the spicy side. I'm fine with the black pepper. And we're going to put this on a low heat. So let me get that water in there.
Yeah, so now are you gonna cover this?
No, I don't cover that either.
Really? So you just let this cook for about how long, would you say?
About a good 45 minutes or so.
And would you add any more water? Like, let's say you see that it looks like it's getting a little dry. Would you add any extra water?
I might add a little extra, because this is supposed to be not really soupy, but not totally dry either. So cut like a stew.
Yeah. All right then.
And this is totally vegetarian.
Yeah. So what we'll do is, I guess we'll check up on it about like 20 minutes or half hour.
Yeah, you could add a cover on it with this, with the steam. The zucchini actually and the potato may cook quicker. Okay, after all, I did put the cover on it. And that's what the final product ends up looking like.
Now, how do you know these are done? How do you know it's
So
done?
you're going to test your potatoes to make sure that they're tender. And you can do that with a fork.
Yeah.
And as you can see, everything looks cooked, and the juice has kind of melded into the whole the vegetables.
Alright, so let's plate it up.
So here we go.
Now, what can you garnish this with? Anything good? Cheese? Can you put some cheese on there?
You could put cheese on anything that you like. I don't particularly care for cheese on it. I just like it.
Just like that?
Just like that.
Well, and nothing else on it? So there you go. So let's eat some. Alright, so here is our zucchini stew. Doesn't it look yummy? My mom's gonna taste this, because I'm not a big fan of zucchini.
Perfect.
Yeah.
The zucchini still has a little bit of a bite to it, and the potatoes are cooked through.
Yeah, so we cooked it for, again, about 45 minutes. And yeah, it just looks, it looks good, but I don't do zucchini. So, yeah, I'm glad you enjoy it. This would be a great meal, right, for a fall, very hot fall evening. So, this has been Pete, or Kenshin1913, along with
Mom.
And this has been another Cooking with Kenshin1913.
Enjoy and happy eating.